On Global News tonight, Air Plateau to soon join Nigeria's flight fleet. Selected individuals across the state benefit from Sustainable Development Goals Empowerment Starter Packs. Plateau State Legislature resents a bill of particular concern. And on the foreign scene, more than 100 aftershocks hit Japan after powerful quake. Details in just a moment. Good evening. It's nice to have you join us on Global News. My name is Mercy Dala. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang says Air Plateau is soon to commence operation in line with government's drive to reposition the transport sector for effective and expanded service delivery. Governor Mutfwang made the disclosure while receiving members of the state transport unions on a solidarity visit at Government House, Little Rayfield, Jos. Government House correspondent has the details.
Governor Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang.
Governor Mutfwang commended the tricycle operators for their support during the 2023 elections and their contribution in maintaining security, disclosing that plans are on the way to introduce modern tricycles fitted with advanced security features to strengthen crime prevention. While donating 20 million naira and promising 5 appointive positions in his government to the unions, Governor Mutfwang charged the transporters to be law-abiding and resist attempts by criminal elements to use them for unlawful activities. The governor also promised special allocation of fertilizer to members of the union.
You may not carry guns, but you are part of the security architecture of the state. Some of you have exposed criminals, and we want to thank you. It is you that are some of the most vigilant people in society, pushing the philosophy that if you see something, say something. By the grace of God, we are thinking of how to introduce modern tricycles that will have some improved telecommunication provision.
Earlier, coordinator of the transport sector, Husseini Gunok, said the delegation, comprising of tricycle operators and other transport stakeholders, came to express appreciation for the governor's leadership and people-oriented policies.
We appreciate you. Today we see you as our amiable governor, as a bulldozer on the plateau, considering the development strikes today we have witnessed on the plateau. A little wonder, a Keke Napep rider said because of the development he sees in the various sectors, like roads, hospitals, all the sectors particularly.
Speaking on behalf of the unions, Marcus Yakubu and Alhaji Tanko declared the transport workers' endorsement of Governor Mutfwang ahead of the 2027 elections. They described transport as a major revenue spinner to the state, appealing for the introduction of electric tricycles, greater inclusion of members in government appointments, and an extension of operating hours. The endorsement by the transport union is another addition to the waves of endorsement on the governor by other associations. This is Timothy Tiem.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang has restated his administration's commitment to equitable development across the state, with focus on improving electricity and water supply in the southern zone. The governor gave the assurance while receiving a high-powered delegation of the Gumai Unity and Development Organization, GUDU, made up of traditional rulers, political leaders, serving and retired technocrats. Government House correspondent has details of the interface which took place at the Twin Theatre Government House, Little Rayfield.
The Gmai delegation on the visit comprised of the Gudo leadership, traditional rulers, political leaders, 7 and retired technocrats, among others. Speaking on behalf of the delegation, the national president of Gudo, pharmacist Albert Alkali, said the Gmai nation, with an estimated population of about 1.5 million people, fully aligns with government's mantra of the time is now, and commended the current administration for completing abandoned projects as well as driving development across the state. Pharmacist Alkali used the platform to appeal for more investment in road infrastructure to ease the transportation of agricultural produce in agrarian communities, while calling for the creation of an additional State House of Assembly constituency in Shandam, and cited the marginalization of Gmai sons and daughters in the political equation of Kwampan local government.
Note with great delight the sterling performance of Your Excellency since assumption of office. And we are, as a people, going to align with your team, the time and now philosophy, which your administration has put in place to bring good governance and needed evidence of democracy to the people.
Responding, Governor Caleb Mutfwang appreciated the delegation's visit and acknowledged the contribution of Gmai people to the development of Plateau State. He assured Gmai leaders that the concern raised has been noted, stressing that his administration remains committed to fairness and inclusive governance, and revealed plans to pursue the creation of additional State House of Assembly constituencies across the state.
I believe, without anybody saying it, with all sense of humility, that I'm a detribalized Plateau man, and I don't believe that any part of Plateau should be neglected.
Chairman of Shandam Local Government Council, Nicholas Keminshi, concluded the interface by reaffirming the overwhelming support of the Gmai nation to Governor Mutfwang and his administration. This is Timothy TM.
Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to reducing unemployment, thereby alleviating poverty and promoting economic inclusion. Governor Mutfwang stated this during the distribution of Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) empowerment starter packs and entrepreneurship support packages to beneficiaries across the 17 local government areas of Plateau State. Our correspondent has the details.
The program theme, Building Skills, Empowering Artisans and Creating Impact, is deliberately designed by the government to equip beneficiaries with practical knowledge in financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business management, digital finance, and enterprise development and wealth creation, among others. Governor Caleb Mutfwang noted that human capital development remains a key priority of his administration, adding that the starter packs and entrepreneurship support are strategic intervention aimed at stimulating small businesses, creating jobs, reducing poverty, and boosting grassroots economic activities. Represented by the State Deputy Governor Josephine Pio, the governor encouraged beneficiaries to build viable enterprise capable of creating employment, supporting families, and contributing to the state's economic growth.
Our government will continue to support programs that equip our youth with the skills, resources, and enabling environment necessary to thrive in an increasingly competitive world. To the women of Plateau State, who continue to serve as the backbone of families, communities, and local economies, this program is also a recognition of your invaluable contributions to our development.
State Coordinator Sustainable Development Goal (SDGs) Nanbam Lord noted that the aim is to build resilient businesses, improve productivity, job creation, and contribute to economic transformation in Plateau State.
The official handing over of empowerment equipment and funds. This critical step directly supports the Plateau State government's commitment to inclusive economic growth, job creation, and poverty reduction. By providing both financial tools and physical equipment, we are actively advancing number one, SDG 1, no poverty.
The Bongom Jos Da Jacob Gyang Buba, represented by the Gomrei Wang Da Gyang Balak, appreciated the government for creating platforms that will empower the youth and reduce poverty in the society. Commissioner of Information and Communication Joyce Ramnap, representatives of the Plateau State Microfinance Development Agency Plasmida and the Plateau State House of Assembly Committee on Budget and Appropriation said they are committed to supporting government efforts aimed at expanding access to entrepreneurship opportunities and improving financial inclusion. The high point of the event was the presentation of SDGs empowerment starter packs and cash support to selected beneficiaries by Governor Caleb Mutfwang and other dignitaries. In Jos, Dashik Simon.
Plateau State House of Assembly has withdrawn the bill seeking to establish allowances as pension for former legislative members, principal officers, and presiding officers. Majority Leader of the House, Joseph Golum, who spoke on behalf of the relevant committees, made this known while briefing House of Assembly correspondents.
Briefing newsmen, Chairman of the Joint Committee on Rules and Businesses, Finance and House Services, and Committee on Services and Welfare, as well as Finance, Joseph Gokum said the decision followed extensive consultations and public feedback from civil society organizations, labor unions, and concerned citizens.
I, as Chairman of the Joint Committee on Rules and Business, Finance and House Services, wish to formally announce the withdrawal of the bill for a law to establish allowances as pension for former members, principal officers, presiding officers of the Plateau State House of Assembly. The 10th Assembly remains committed to the principles of transparency, accountability, and people-oriented legislation.
The lawmakers stressed that as representatives of the people, legislators have the responsibility to ensure that every law enacted promotes equity and fairness.
We have resolved to withdraw the bill. The Plateau State House of Assembly, under the leadership of Right Honorable Nanlong Daniel, remain committed to making laws that will promote good governance, unity, and development of our dear states.
He noted that the withdrawal of the bill is a demonstration of maturity, humility, and respect for public opinion, adding that the 10th Assembly appreciates the constructive engagement of civil society organizations and labor unions. It's been Simi Cholo.
The Plateau State Internal Security Outfit, Operation Rainbow, says it is shifting from reactive to proactive strategies and community-driven approach to tackle communal crashes and insecurity across the state. Coordinator Operation Rainbow, Brigadier General Nash Yakubu, disclosed this at a meeting held in Riom local government area with key players in the security architecture. Our correspondent covered the meeting held at the Local Government Council Secretariat.
Riom is one of the closely watched local government areas in Plateau due to its history of farmer-herder clashes, communal attacks, and road kidnappings, among other security challenges. Addressing the gathering comprised of youths, traditional rulers, and other stakeholders, the coordinator, Operation Rainbow, Brigadier General Nash Yakubu, said the meeting is to chart a new path for security in the area and across the state. He disclosed that Operation Rainbow's security blueprint will focus on early warning, community trust, rapid response, as well as strengthening collaboration against crime to ensure lasting peace in the state.
Please form night vigil unit. How do I mean? Vigilante units in the night. But not to take the laws into your hands. No. Watch. Then you communicate with telephones, telling each other what you're observing. Then you put your groups on sentry duties. At least somebody will be awake to alert people that there is a threat coming. And then we would have also been informed. I'm going to leave a phone number through which you will quickly call. It's marked 24 hours.
Chairman of Riom local government area, Sati Shua, pledged to support efforts of security agencies, but raised concerns over recurring attacks on farms and rural roads.
We have had a wonderful engagement. Today, Riom is blessed. It is not relative peace, but we need lasting peace. But it must start from somewhere.
Traditional and youth leaders who also spoke called for their inclusion in security planning, skills training, and intelligence sharing. Brigadier General Nashi Akubu later addressed some recently recruited personnel of Operation Rainbow posted to Riyom local government area. I am Kermun Bukas.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Still ahead on global news, citizens call for punitive measures on lynching of suspected criminals. Stay with us. You're watching Global News coming to you live from our Rayfield studio. Moving on now, Director General of the Plateau State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, PLASCHEMA, Dr. Dawal Kwande, has reaffirmed the agency's commitment to expanding community-based health insurance as part of efforts to strengthen access to quality healthcare.
Also speaking, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Nicholas Bamlong, described the initiative as a significant milestone in the state's healthcare system, expressing optimism that the increasing number of enrollees will translate into improved healthcare delivery and renewed hope for the people of Plateau State.
Enrollment has increased significantly over the years, at least from when this government came in till now. Enrollment from 100 or 100,000, we are now getting close to 350. So that is very significant.
Goodwill messages were delivered by the state coordinator of PLASEMSAS, Izang Ebel, the director of production and quality assurance, Plateau Drugs and Medical Commodities Agency, Meshach Dayol, the chairman of the Civil Society Organizations Coalition on Healthcare Delivery, Christopher Damcher, and a representative of the Plateau State Hospital Management Board, Raweng Lazarus, commended PLASCHEMA for the initiative and pledged their continued support toward achieving universal health coverage in the state. The workshop also featured a presentation by pharmacist Nenmang Lenka, represented by the Secretary of the Board of Trustees of the Shure Mutual Health Association, Dr. Augustine Gozuk, sharing the Shure experience in implementing community-based health insurance. Also, the inauguration of the community-based health insurance tax team, as well as discussions and feedback on strategies for effective implementation at the community level. I am Marian Jem.
This synergy between the Nigerian Union of Journalists and Radio, Television, Theatre and Arts Workers Union needs to be strengthened for the growth and advancement of members. Chairman, Radio, Television and Arts Workers Union, Plateau State Council, Nansel Gombo, stated this during a courtesy visit to executives of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Plateau State Council at the NUJ Secretariat, Jos. Our correspondent has the details.
For NUJ and Ratao. No, 3, 1, 2, go!
As part of efforts to uphold professionalism and strengthen collaboration with the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Plateau State Council, executives of the Radio, Television, Theatre and Arts Workers Union, Plateau State Council, paid a courtesy visit to the NUJ Secretariat. Speaking during the visit, the Ratao State Chairman, Nansel Gimba, explained that the visit aimed at deepening the relationship between the two media unions. Gimba reaffirmed Ratao's readiness to work with the NUJ in advancing the welfare and interest of media practitioners.
The union at Ratao, we have come to tell you that Ratao is solidly behind you. You can call on us at any moment. We are here. I remember during our election, sometime last year, it was first of its kind too. She was there with us from the beginning to the end.
Welcoming the delegation, Chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Plateau State Council, Ayuko Paspo, expressed appreciation for the visit, describing it as a demonstration of solidarity between the two unions. Paspo called for sustained collaboration between Ratao and the NUJ to promote the growth of the media sector and to improve the welfare of members.
Election, I was there, and the idea of being there is to show that the two unions in the broadcast industry, especially, will have to work together.
She also conducted the delegation on a tour of the NUJ State Secretariat and proposed a novelty football match involving women of both unions as a means of fostering a stronger bond. In Jos, I am Deborah John.
Guests on Good Morning Plateau have advocated a multifaceted approach in tackling jungle justice in Nigeria. They made their views known during the midweek edition of the program. Our correspondent reports that the discussion was on the topic how to end lynching and mob violence.
The midweek edition of Good Morning Plateau was dedicated to mourn the death of a student of the University of Jos, Ibrahim Mbaya, who was brutally beaten to death. Guests on the program, President Worldwide University of Jos Alumni Association, Dr. Gad Shamaki, and Professor Kingsley Okonoda of the Psychiatry Department, Jos University Teaching Hospital, condemned the act, saying any act of extrajudicial killing is a crime.
But when we saw that incident, I was heartbroken because I don't understand why enlightened people that we pride ourselves as Joside to say that we're trained both in knowledge and we descend to such a very low level of hitting someone as if the person never exists.
There was still no justification to beat, to torture. That self-righteousness or moral justification that people think they have to torture another or to beat another because it's a thief or so on and so forth is faulty. We must start attacking it.
They called on government, traditional institutions, religious bodies, the media and all citizens to work in synergy to end such inhuman behavior.
We must have the heart to move in a different direction if other persons are going another direction. We must not all think alike. There must always be that one person that will say, no, can we have a rethink about this process? Be that one person. Be that difference where others are gathered.
You must know that you cannot carry out acts of justice by yourself. Justice is not done that way. So young people must be holistic in their thinking.
Callers on the program called on the judiciary to ensure that perpetrators of such wicked acts face the full wrath of the law.
And in the Nigerian situation, if this matter is not followed up by the media, civil society, and what have you, I tell you, after 2 weeks, it will be a 9 days wonder. Everybody will move on. Nobody talks about it again.
I want to suggest that government should step up to address this kind of things.
I am Bol Chitpam.
Management of the Federal University of Education Pangshin have commiserated with the institution's bossa, Amali Bello, following the death of his immediate younger brother, Ibrahim Bello. The delegation, led by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Noel Wunan, conveyed the university's heartfelt condolences, noting that the visit reflected the strong bond, unity, and sense of family that defined the workforce. Responding on behalf of the family, Chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Nasarawa State, Aliyu Bello, expressed gratitude to the university's management for standing with the family in their moment of sorrow. The management team also visited Amina Bello, daughter of the bossa, who is receiving treatment from injuries sustained from the same accident that claimed her father's life. The late Ibrahim Bello was a staff of the university's registry department until his passing. Moving now to the foreign scene, Japan's southwestern Kyushu region has had more than 100 aftershocks since it was struck on Tuesday by a powerful earthquake, which left at least 13 people dead. Many others were said to be in cardiopulmonary arrest, a term often used in preliminary reports in Japan before a death is officially confirmed. In Syrian heat, rescue crews are digging through the rubble at a paper factory and a shopping mall in Kumamoto Prefecture looking for trapped survivors. The mall suffered an explosion in the hour after the earth struck. Japan's Prime Minister Sane Takaichi warned it was truly a race against time to rescue those trapped. Thousands are in evacuation centers and many are without power. The Japan Meteorological Agency is urging residents to be alert for the possibility of strong aftershocks. And that report takes us to the recap. In the news, we told you that Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang says Air Plateau is soon to commence operation in line with government's drive to reposition the transport sector for effective and expanded service delivery. Governor Mutfwang made the disclosure while receiving members of the state transport unions on a solidarity visit at Government House, Little Rayfield. We also told you that Governor Caleb Mutfwang has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to reducing unemployment, thereby alleviating poverty and promoting economic inclusion. Governor Mutfwang stated this during the distribution of Sustainable Development Goals SDGs Empowerment Starter Packs and Entrepreneurship Support Program packages to beneficiaries across the 17 local government areas of Plateau State. Plateau State House of Assembly has withdrawn the bill seeking to establish allowances as pension for former legislative members, principal officers, and presiding officers. Majority Leader of the House, Joseph Gollum, who spoke on behalf of the relevant committees, made this known while briefing House of Assembly correspondents. And finally, Japan's southwestern Kyushu region has had more than 100 aftershocks since it was struck on Tuesday by a powerful earthquake, which left at least 13 people dead. Many others were said to be in cardiopulmonary arrest, a term used in preliminary reports in Japan before a death is officially confirmed. And that wraps it up on Global News. Thanks for watching. News update comes up at 10 p.m. Good evening.
So beautiful, beautiful our land.
Fly to the beautiful cradle of the middle belt.